A lot of y'all asked me to bring this back up because you said that Shannon Sharpe actually spoke on and gave additional insight as to why it is that he left. Undisputed with Skip Bayless, and that he was on Mad Dog show on Sirius XM in order to illustrate this a little bit more. So I want to go ahead and quickly review that. Make sure y'all get y'all likes up for the YouTube algorithm. I'm definitely going to be reading those super chats throughout the show. Let's get into that. This is Shannon Sharpe speaking specifically, according to the video that y'all sent me. I have not watched it yet. Shannon Sharpe speaking specifically about whether or not it was really beef of him leaving Fox Sports and Skip Bayless.
A lot of times, Mad Dog, people look at things and like, you can have like 15 great years and somebody have a bad moment and they're willing to throw all of that away. I wasn't willing to throw that the 2 months that Skip and we disagreed a lot. Sometimes I think things went over the line.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm learning something.
And so I didn't want that. And so I appreciate everything Skip had done for me, bringing me there, giving me an opportunity to show that I was just more than a football player. I could talk about more in the sports world than just football. So I wasn't willing to throw that away. Skip and I just needed to get into a room and talk, and calmer heads prevailed.
All right.
So, based off of what I'm hearing, because I think that what Shannon is talking about, it actually, and I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show, what Shannon is talking about, it actually supports what I say. Because a lot of people keep telling me, oh, man, no, it's because they fell out, or they had beef, or when he told Shannon to put his glasses back on, or the whole DeMar Hamlin situation, or whatever, so on and so forth. Maybe I'm off, but the way I'm interpreting what he's saying is he's basically communicating and saying, listen, we was rocking out for years. Skip, the one that brought me in and gave me an opportunity when nobody actually seen the vision, Skip was the one that put me on. Contrary to popular belief, Skip actually put Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe in a position of power, but that's neither here nor there. What I hear him saying is, listen, we weren't willing to throw away a bag just based off of a couple months of a disruption. They was cool. They got over it. It had nothing to do with how it was that he perceived Skip to do anything or anything like that. They kept it professional. One thing about Shannon Sharpe that I see, and the one thing about Skip, is that both of them seem to be about their bag above all. They don't let their pride, they don't let their ego get in the way. And he said it. He said, listen, I'm not about to let 5, 6, 7 years of great content or a great relationship or great money get in the way of what it is that we was putting together. He said, listen, we just had to step in the room, iron that junk out, and keep it moving. Which supports my narrative. I don't care when this video came out, but it basically supports my narrative. And my narrative was, the reason that Shannon Sharpe probably left, and I don't know this for sure, nobody knows it for sure because nobody actually knows exactly why it is that he left because he hasn't said it yet. But there's different hints and different people saying that they know stuff. Stephen A. said he knows something and all of this other type of stuff, or based off of his optics. The reality is that I believe that Shannon Sharpe, whatever it is that he's doing, is based off of another bag or another opportunity that is coming his way. I think he already had it up. I think whatever deal that he got going on is already sold up. Because you can't negotiate a buyout, A, if you don't have the big bag to be able to buy yourself out, and then B, if you don't already know what it is that you got going on. You can't negotiate a buyout if you don't already have a plan in place. I think it's 100% about the money. 1,000% about the money.
And is the relationship better now?
We're great. We're great. Look, Skip and I, we don't have the type of relationship that Skip and Stephen A. had, because Skip and Stephen A. came from the same world. They had been
both writers,
both journalists. They're trained they see what they see through the journalist's eyes. I'm an ex-athlete. I see things through an athlete's eyes. And so for me, we see things differently. That's why we work on the show. He sees things one way, I see things another way. But I think the thing is that Skip and that I conveyed to Skip is that, look, we can disagree, but I want to color between the lines. I don't want the disagreement to go outside of the lines and where it becomes.
And you thought there for a little while it did?
Yeah, I did. I think everybody thought that.
I did.
You can have disagreements. You can have different things that you complain about. You can have different things that's a problem, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, what do we always say? You got to protect the bag. At the end of the day, no matter what, you always got to protect the bag. It just is what it is. You don't put yourself in a position to suffer as a result of the bag. You go and get that bag, right? I'm not even in the mood personally right now. You always going to have disruptions. I'm not in the mood right now to be dealing with Dusties. Because I got to, my mouth, my tooth is got it all the way up to my ear, and so it make me feel a certain type of way. You got to protect the bag.
I did not realize that. And, Skip has a up and down reputation. Overall, though, he's done a great job for your career.
Yeah.
Stephen A. swears by him, too.
Yeah, man. He's done a great job by my career. I don't have a career really in the media. Yeah, I had my stint at CBS, and I want to thank Sean McManus and for giving me that opportunity. Tony Batiti, they believed in me. I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I came right off the field, and they gave me an opportunity to do that. So I appreciate what they did for me for the decade in which I was at CBS. But I was miscast. I needed this format. I need a format where I can talk about a lot of different things and give my opinion.
Not 20 seconds
and not
on a
20
pregame
seconds.
show.
Yeah.
And which is one of the reasons I don't understand why Stephen A. ever even had the conversation publicly talking about how Shannon Sharpe it's a possibility, or he's always going to be angling for him to have a door open in order for him to join the team over there at First Take. Shannon Sharpe ain't trying to join no team over at First Take. I think that Shannon Sharpe sees that he is a First Take. Why would Shannon Sharpe ever entertain the possibility when he's literally just telling you right here, listen, I need a bigger platform to give you more than 20 seconds. I need to be able to express myself and do what I do. I can talk about more. He's basically saying he's proved himself to be able to talk about more than just football. He can talk about even more than what it is that he's talking about on Undisputed as far as other sports and basketball. He can talk about, and I think that's what it is that he tried to prove with Club Shay Shay, is that he can have conversations all across the spectrum, and he feels as though he's a bigger star than just sports.
So Skip gave me this opportunity and the platform that I have, Club Shay Shay Podcast and Skip and Shannon Undisputed, and more people know me now from Skip and Shannon Undisputed than know me in 14 years that I played in the NFL. People ask me, like, how do you know so much about sports? How do you know so much about football? I was like, I study a lot. A lot of people don't realize that I actually played and I was a pretty good player, Mad Dog.
More than pretty good. I know.
The problem with football players a lot of times is they wear helmets. So you don't really know them as a star unless they're Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. But the reality is that once they take their football helmet off, most of these guys, you can pass them every single day and you'll never know who they are. Most guys that are football players, you can walk past them every single day and you'll never know who they are. So he's basically saying that Undisputed has given him not only the opportunity, not only the money, not only the relationships, but it's given him more visibility that then helped him to leapfrog into things that are greater than what it is that he's doing right now.
All right, let's get to the second thing. Let's get this out of the way. I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I know there was that incident there at the Staples Center with you on the court.
No, I didn't go on the court.
I don't care about none of that. But the point that I'm making is that all of his past interviews and the things that he's talked about, especially the stuff that y'all sending me, basically justifies where it is that I'm going. Now, until I see something different, until I see him or I hear him say something different, I don't see where there's a problem outside of him looking at the bag and saying, listen, we need to be able to get that bag and get that money. I don't see it the same way as everybody else. I think that Shannon Sharpe is very smart. He's very articulate. He continues to have conversations based off of what makes the most sense from a financial perspective, and that's how he moves. I think that he's very, very smart and he about that money.